Well, folks, here's something else I got a problem with. The 10 Commandments. Here's my problem.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It is us. We are back. It is the Simpingtons. This is my beautiful wife,
Steph.
and this is your boy, Jay. We're back today, and today we're going to do a little bit more George Carlin. We got a lot of requests for a George Carlin we did prior. That was called Religion is Blank. And
It's bullish.
It's bullish, and in the comments, a lot of people put this down as something to check out. So it's called George Carlin on Cultural Issues. Okay. Apparently something's wrong with my wig up here, but my wife fixed it up real nice for me.
Guys, if you get a chance, please go and check out our other George Carlin video. We have multiple comments on that page regarding if you're atheist or if you believe in God. We are going to have a special guest on August the 13th who would like to speak on being an atheist. He's an atheist, and we have some questions, and he has some questions for us.
Yes.
So if you are interested in that, you want to learn or hear more about it, our stance on it, his stance on it, we'll be taking questions. He'll be taking questions as well. His name is Jay as well. And we will have our special guest on August 13th, and I believe we will start about 6 o'clock, 6 Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
So please stay tuned if that's something that you are interested in. We hope to see you all there. Everyone come with an open mind. Everyone will respect one another, and everyone can ask any questions that they would like to ask. All I ask is that everybody just respects everybody's
point of view. Okay, yeah. She said a mouthful. That was beautiful right there. So be on the lookout for that one. But right now today, the George Carlin we're doing today is the 10 Commandments by George Carlin. We got a lot of requests on the previous video, Religion is Bull, blank. And then a lot of people told us to check this out. So we're here and we're going to check this out.
But without further ado, we're going to get into these 10 Commandments from George Carlin. Again, we hope to see you there on our live video August 13th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And don't forget, comment, like, subscribe, and share this video. Let's do it.
Sure?
Yes, Uncle George, let's do it.
The 10 Commandments. Here's my problem. Why are there 10? You don't need 10. I think the list of commandments was deliberately and artificially inflated to get it up to 10. It's a padded list. Here's what they did. About 5,000 years ago, a bunch of religious and political hustlers got together to try to figure out how to control people, how to keep them in line. They knew people were basically stupid and would believe anything they were told, so they announced that God had given them some commandments. Up on a mountain, when no one was around, God had given them the 10 Commandments. But let me ask you this. When they were sitting around making this shit up, why did they pick 10? Why 10? Why not 9 or 11? I'll tell you why. Because 10 sounds official. 10 sounds important. They knew if it was 11, people wouldn't take it seriously. So what, are you kidding me? The 11 Commandments? Get the fuck out of here. But 10 sounds important. 10 is the basis for the decimal system. It's a decade. It's a psychologically satisfying number. The top 10, the 10 most wanted, the 10 best dressed. So having 10 commandments was really a marketing decision. And to me, it's clearly a bullshit list. It's a political document artificially inflated to sell better. I'm going to show you how you could reduce the number of commandments and come up with a list that's a little more workable and logical. We're going to start with the first 3, and I'll use the Roman Catholic version because those are the ones I was taught as a little boy. I am the Lord thy God, thou shalt not have strange gods before me. Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Thou shalt keep holy the Sabbath. Right off the bat, the first 3, pure bullshit. Sabbath day, Lord's name, strange gods. Spooky language. Spooky language. Designed to scare and control primitive people. In no way does superstitious nonsense like this apply to the lives of intelligent, civilized humans in the 21st century. You throw out the first 3 commandments, you're down to 7. Next, honor thy father and mother. Obedience, respect for authority. Just another name for controlling people. The truth is, obedience and respect should not be automatic. They should be earned. They should be based on the parent's performance. Parent's performance. Right? Some parents deserve respect. Most of them don't. Period. You're down to 6. Now, in the interest of logic, something religion is very uncomfortable with, we're going to jump around the list a little bit. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness. Stealing and lying. Well, actually, these two both prohibit the same kind of behavior. Dishonesty, stealing, and lying. So you don't need 2 of them. Instead, you combine them and you call it thou shalt not be dishonest. And suddenly, you're down to 5. And as long as we're combining, I have 2 others that belong together. Thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Once again, these 2 prohibit the same kind of behavior, in this case, marital infidelity. The difference is coveting takes place in the mind, and I don't think you should outlaw fantasizing about someone else's wife. Otherwise, what's a guy going to think about when he's waxing his carrot?
What? Waxing his carrot
is a good idea, so we're going to keep the idea and call this one, thou shalt not be unfaithful. And suddenly, we're down to 4. But when you think about it, honesty and fidelity are really part of the same overall value. So in truth, you could combine the 2 honesty commandments with the 2 fidelity commandments and give them simpler language, positive language instead of negative, and call the whole thing, thou shalt always be honest and faithful, and we're down to 3. Thou shalt, they're going away fast. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's goods. This one is just plain fucking stupid. Coveting your neighbor's goods is what keeps the economy going. All right? Your neighbor gets a vibrator that plays "O Come All Ye Faithful." You want to get one too. Coveting creates jobs. Leave it alone. You throw out coveting, you're down to 2 now. The big honesty and fidelity commandment, and the one we haven't talked about yet, thou shalt not kill. Murder. The 5th commandment. But when you think about it, religion has never really had a big problem with murder. Not really. More people have been killed in the name of God than for any other reason. All you have to do is look at Northern Ireland, the Middle East, Kashmir, the Inquisition, the Crusades, and the World Trade Center to see how seriously the religious folks take thou shalt not kill. The more devout they are, the more they see murder as being negotiable. It's negotiable. You know? It depends. It depends on who's doing the killing and who's getting killed. So, with all of this in mind, I leave you with my revised list of the 2 commandments. Thou shalt always be honest and faithful to the provider of thy nookie.
What?
And thou shalt try real hard not to kill anyone, unless, of course, they pray to a different invisible man from the one you pray to. 2 is all you need. Moses could have carried him down the hill in his fucking pocket. And if they had a list like that, I wouldn't mind those folks in Alabama putting it up on the courthouse wall. As long as they included one additional commandment, thou shalt keep thy religion to thyself. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming.
All right.
So I'm guessing, like, this is our, 3rd George Carlin?
This is our 3rd George Carlin.
He was an atheist, right?
That's what it sounded like. I think he said when he was little, he went to church and he believed. I guess as he got older and started, thinking for himself and started studying and looking, and I guess that changed.
I mean, comment down below. Let us know if he was an atheist or not. I'm leaning more towards he was. And he had some points. He had some points.
Yeah.
Especially to me, the thou shalt not murder one. Like that really struck home with me because we in this country kill people every day, whether it's in war, whether we're giving the death penalty, whatever the case may be, and so people are being killed every day.
Yeah.
So that commandment, if that's the case, a lot of people have already broken that one.
A lot of people broken that one, and quite a few of the other ones. But like God said, we all fall short of these commandments. So we're not perfect. We all sin. So you know, if you want to get in depth and make analogies and stuff like that, as far as what he said with commandments about how everybody's not doing any of what commandments is we fall short of what God. So we're not going to live the commandments fully.
And he said that the commandments, that these were man-made and they were just made to keep us in check and made to keep us in line. So even if you went by that thought and that's what you believe, if there weren't any commandments and there weren't anything, what would keep us in line? Even if there aren't any commandments, you still have things that are man-made, man commandments and laws and things that's by your state and by the federal government. You can't just go out and shoot your neighbor without self-defense and this and that. I can't go and steal something from the store without going to jail. I can't go outside and run around naked, or I can't rude or disorderly conduct, or I can't go speeding and doing 90 miles an hour on a 60 miles. Those are rules that were made up anyway, also to keep us in line and in check.
Yeah. So with the 10 Commandments, like thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. Okay, everybody ain't gonna live by that. There's gonna be people that's gonna mess with somebody's wife, but the commandments basically tell you don't do it and it's wrong. So if you don't have the commandments at least saying that any man can just come and do something with my wife, and is it just okay? Since if one no commandments around, is that you know, we know it's wrong. The commandments basically say that's wrong. You shouldn't do it. People gonna do it anyway.
Right, but
at
I
least
feel
something's
like
there saying that's not right.
And they're saying that these rules were made up to put fear in you by this so-called made-up person who is supposed to be God. This is not my stance. This is what this stance is.
Yeah.
That by this made-up person called God that's supposed to put fear in us to keep us from doing certain things. However, I feel like if those rules, or even the rules that were put in by law, that were put in by the state, that were put in by wherever you live, just the whole laws, the whole world would be running rampant. Like, what would stop someone? And if you're an atheist, if you don't believe in the 10 Commandments, or you don't believe in God, what stops you from not being a good person? What stops? Is it your conscience? Is it just your character, the way you were brought up? Like, what keeps you from just breaking all these laws, going to sleep with someone's wife, or not being nice to your neighbor? Is it just that you know right from wrong? Is that what keeps you from doing these things? And you feel like these rules or any laws whatsoever, whether they're God-made, man-made, whether they're the laws in the state you live in, whether they're the laws by the federal government laws, do you feel like if that's the case, no laws should be put in place by anyone anyway?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Well. And
I also like the one though about honoring thy mother and thy father.
They just he said,
but I feel like
they should
earn it.
They shouldn't just be mom and dad and they smacking me up and treating me terrible and doing all kind of things that we read about now to kids. And then I'm just supposed, when I become a grown man, you ain't got to disrespect, but you can just separate yourself.
But that's what I was saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like you have to just kind of like, you don't have honoring somebody and just showing basic human courtesy and respect, I feel like are two different things. Now, if you had a mother or father and they just brought you in this world and gave you life, I believe just that deserves some type of, regardless of what type of parent they were or whatever, just unless they were like really, I mean, it could go so many ways. Yeah. I just feel like just them kind of like bringing you into this world. They could have had an abortion. You couldn't have been here, whatever the case may be. But were they a good parents? Did they raise you right? Were they loving? Were they nurturing? You know, did they give you a nice home? Did they do all the things they could for you to provide for you? Did they respect you? Because you have to respect the child too. So, you know, then that's when, to me, the honor part comes in to play. So I kind of like felt him on that one as well.
Yeah, that was a good request. So, you know.
Yeah, but don't forget, guys, we're gonna go live.
Yeah.
We're gonna discuss this whole atheist, believer versus non-believer,
science versus religion. You know.
Right, science versus religion, science versus faith. Who's a believer, who is not a believer, why you're a believer, why you're not a believer. And we're going to have this guy on. His name is Jay, and he's an atheist, and he said he studied science, and he's been an atheist for years, and he was a believer at one time, and he's going to come on and give us his point of view. And again, we're all going to be respectful and respect one another, but don't forget to please tune in August 13th, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Bring your drink with you.
Yeah.
Bring your questions with you. Whether you're a believer or a non-believer, all are welcome, because we want to hear everyone's point of view. But without further ado, get your sip on.
I got mine on already.
Be a good person. Whether you're a believer or non-believer,
yes.
Be kind. Be
kind.
good to one another. We love you. We are out.